There's this dream we all buy into when we get solar panels installed. The crew packs up, you watch the truck drive away, and you think, that's it, my work here is done. Right? It's this beautiful idea of set it and forget it. For the next 2 decades, you're just going to sit back and watch that sweet, free, effortless electricity roll in. It's a really powerful and honestly a very common belief. But what if I told you that reality is, well, a little different? It turns out that this hands-off approach, this whole dream of zero maintenance, it might actually be a massive and expensive mistake. We really need to talk about the hidden cost of doing nothing. So that brings us to something I call the dirt tax. Think of it as this invisible toll that grime is taking on your panel's performance day in and day out. And we're about to figure out exactly how much it's draining from your wallet. And wow, the numbers here are staggering. In the worst cases, we are talking about a 15 to 25% loss in efficiency. Just let that sink in for a second. You could be losing up to a quarter of your potential power output just from a layer of dirt. So what does that percentage actually mean? Well, for a typical UK home, that drop translates to losing somewhere between 300 and 600 kilowatt hours of free electricity every single year. That's real money you're leaving on the table. And get this, it's not just about the amount of dust, it's about the type of gunk. Where you live changes everything. Near the coast, you're battling a constant salty haze that's basically semi-permanent. Live in the city, you're up against this gross oily film from traffic and industry. But there's one enemy we all have in common. And here is where it gets really serious. Bird droppings don't just block a little spot of light, they're acidic. If you just let them sit there and bake in the sun, they can literally etch the surface of the glass, causing permanent, irreversible damage that you can never, ever wash off. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but wait, it rains. Doesn't the rain just wash them clean for me? Well, I hate to break it to you, but it's time we completely debunked the great rain myth. Honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. After a quick shower, is your car's windshield sparkling clean? No way. It's usually worse, right? It's all streaky. The water just pushes the loose dust around and does absolutely nothing to that sticky film or those baked-on spots. And we've got the numbers to prove it. Even if you only rely on rain, you're still looking at a guaranteed efficiency loss of about 8 to 12% year after year. Rain just isn't a substitute for a real cleaning. It's not even close. Okay, so we all agree they need to be cleaned, but how in the world do you do it without causing some really expensive damage? This is all about how to protect your investment while you're taking care of it. All right, first things first, and this is a big one that almost nobody thinks about. It's called thermal shock. On a hot, sunny day, those panels can get up to 70 degrees Celsius. That's incredibly hot. If you then spray cold water from a hose on that hot glass, bam, the rapid temperature change can shatter it instantly. This means the timing of when you clean is absolutely critical. It is non-negotiable. There's a golden window. The best season is in the spring, say March to May, to get all that winter gunk off before the powerful summer sun arrives. And you only ever clean them early in the morning before they heat up or late in the evening after they've completely cooled down. And now for a huge public service announcement. Your first instinct might be to grab the pressure washer. I get it. It reaches the roof. It feels powerful. Please, whatever you do, do not do that. Anything over 60 bar of pressure can actually blast water right past the seals and into the electronics. Or worse, it can strip the special anti-reflective coating right off the glass. The right way to do it, believe it or not, is incredibly low tech. Just wait for the panels to be cool. Use a regular garden hose on a low pressure setting. If water alone isn't cutting it, you can use deionized water or maybe a tiny bit of mild dish soap that's heavily diluted. And just never, ever use harsh chemicals. Okay, now for the part that really hits home, the money and the risk. Let's look at the return on investment for a professional clean and a sneaky warranty risk you probably don't even know you're taking. So let's just look at the raw numbers. A pro clean can set you back anywhere from 60 to 300 pounds. But, and this is the important part, on a standard system, that one cleaning can help you generate up to 220 pounds of extra electricity in that year. The math is pretty clear. Most of the time, it absolutely pays for itself. And here's the kicker, the fine print that could save you thousands. A lot of manufacturers actually require some kind of documented maintenance. So if a panel fails and an inspector comes out and sees years of caked-on grime, guess what? They have grounds to void your entire warranty. So maybe keep those receipts. But look, before you even think about grabbing a ladder, we need to talk seriously about safety. If your roof is steep, if it's more than 2 stories high, or if there's moss or lichen up there making things slippery, just don't do it yourself. It is not worth falling off a roof to save 100 quid. Just call a professional. So all of this brings me to one final thought for you. We've been talking about this idea of invisible loss, power that's just slipping through your fingers because of something as simple as dirt. So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're walking around your neighborhood, look up at all the solar panels on the roofs. And now that you know that just rain can mean a 10% power cut, ask yourself, how many of those are high-performing assets, and how many have accidentally become really, really expensive roof ornaments?